So the Silkin approach has really had me look at my office very differently. In the past, I would kind of go make decisions based on my gut or just kind of see where I think my office is moving. In dental school, they never really taught us how to run a business, and it's really not an easy task.
Dentistry, I can do that on my own. I think that's what we're trained for. That's what dental school is for. You don't have somebody right next to you holding your hand throughout your entire career. It's that's what they call a sole practice. But running a business was a different beast.
The practice grew to a point where I couldn't handle the practice anymore. It was kind of growing faster than I could handle, and I was doing everything. So I was doing all my own books. I was making sure that my employees were in line. I was going home and doing work at home, doing work at the office.
When I first started up practice, I had a lot of success. We were building, we were growing, and then we reached a point where it just stopped, and I became really frustrated with what was occurring.
The issue that I think all private practice owners deal with is their focus is mostly on doing dentistry. I mean, that's what we go to school for, is focusing on how to become better clinicians. And that's what our continuing education is doing for us. So a lot of our energies are focused on that. What they don't prepare you for is the practice management aspect of it.
So in dental school, they teach us all the technical aspects of what we're doing, but they never teach us the business of owning. And so it's very overwhelming when we just look at numbers to get lost. So with a spreadsheet, my eyes would glaze over, but when I look at the graphs and the little analysis that Silkin has taught me, everything has become super clear and very easy to understand, and it's given me the confidence to know where I am in my practice and how to take it to the next level.
As the practice slowly grew, the dentistry was fine, but I found that the busier I became, the less control I had over the office. So I knew that there was an issue that I wasn't directly addressing, but needed to be addressed if I wanted to, I guess, meet the demands that dentistry was giving me from my patients and from my growing family. And also that need for organization that is vital for any business to succeed in.
Bringing them on has helped me apply statistics to my practice and create policy. And the policy allows me to have control of the practice. I'm able to go home now. I don't have work at home. I have an office manager who used to be doing everything in the office, but now she has been able to assign so much of the things she was doing to staff members.
The Silkin consultant came in, did an evaluation of my practice, and then developed a program that was specific to my practice. I then went to Silkin and took some courses. I did some training to actually learn the program. And then came back and implemented the program into the practice. The consultant helped me to do that in a very systematic approach.
Silkin taught me how to put in systems in my office to make us more efficient and to set up the right protocols and procedures so that the money wasn't really what was driving us, but was actually a nice byproduct. If you do things properly, the end product is correct. If you just try to do things for numbers, the patient gets lost in the middle.
We knew what we wanted in a staff member, but we didn't know how to get that. With the tools that we utilized from Silkin, we started to create a stellar staff, a staff of people that were like-minded, like us, that cared.
You spent all this time perfecting your craft as a clinician. Have you spent the same amount of time or energy perfecting your craft as a business owner? If you haven't, then sadly, you're not doing yourself justice and you're not really seeing the total profit involved in the efforts that you've put into your education and your training. That's what got me. That's what was something that I had to really look in the mirror and say, listen, if my responsibility is to do dentistry to the best of my ability, and this whole, elephant in the room of business ownership is sitting there staring at me, expecting my attention, and I just continue to ignore it, I'm not doing what I need to do for my patients. And they're not getting the service that they require and that they deserve.
By them being able to teach me and train me in this area, I now actually had training and knew how to run a business. It was no longer a good idea approach. I kind of looked at it after the fact and thought how silly it is to try to be just running a business. It's kind of amazing, I guess, how well we do just through a little bit of common sense and good ideas. We maybe go to a seminar and we get an idea and we implement it, or we hear from a friend, or we read a journal and we get an idea and we implement it. But that's a pretty silly way to try to run a business. There's actually a method to doing it.
There's a lot of heart and care behind it. I feel like they have all the interest in the world for me to succeed. They have a desire for me to obtain my goals, to get my practice where I want it to be. And they see what my ideal scenario or my plan is. They want me to get a break and they want me to be successful, and I feel that. And the direction that's given is always simple and direct, but it's really great to have that guidance.
With working with Silkin as an assistant manager, it has made my job more successful because I'm able to streamline our training process with our manuals and our phase training. So it has been able to help me personally grow and expand with the company.
I would advise to anybody that is running a private practice to absolutely pursue a consultation and at least get a practice analysis of how your practice is running now. You owe it to yourself to see if what you're doing is working and if there's something that they can do to help you.
Take some time and talk with them first and have them do a little bit of an analysis of how you're managing your practice. And after a few hours of discussion, you'll find there are some places that you can improve. And then even at that point, those little places, those are nothing compared to the real benefits that can be had when you find the problem spots. Because they're there, you just got to find them.
Sometimes, another doctor might ask me, well, what's your payback, or what was your return on investment? And, I've been at this for a lot of years now. I'm fortunate to have implemented this into my practice many, many years ago. This may sound a little ridiculous, but I'm millions of dollars ahead of where I would have been. When you add it up over the years of the additional production that I have been able to do, according to what I was, in comparison to what I did previously, it would add up to several $million.
So some people ask me, why did you use a consultant? Was it really worth spending the money? I think that Silkin was the best investment in me personally and in my team. Without Silkin, I would not be able to train new team members. I would not be able to have as predictable a workday and also figure out where I am, how my practice is, how my team is doing. And it's really increased communication between each and every team member and with me, and back the other way as well. So I feel like this was one of the best investments I've ever made, and my office has never run better.